live. Sorry for the delay.
Chalo, we'll
Sorry
figure
for
that
the
out.
delay.
We'll figure that out.
Shivam, you only noticed now that the mic was making noise.
And my mic was in
All this while when we were talking, who will come back, who will stay, who will play. That time you could have said, no, one mic is making noise or whatever.
Chalo, but for now we do know there are two player teams that will definitely be playing.
Two
And
teams,
that-
obviously two teams have to play.
Definitely, talking about who plays, who doesn't play, but we know about who plays. Rather toss update, yes. So we now know about the playing 11s there also.
It's a big game. No show is complete without we saying this. It's a big game in the IPL today.
And to be fair, now it's not even
Why?
hyperbole. Every game is a big game.
So that's why I said
Why
we
is
have
it a
to
big
say.
game? What if GT loses?
Then it is that. Then it becomes an even bigger game.
Even bigger.
Sunrisers, if they win today, then they're not out of
I
the
thought
race.
people would not have much interest today because, they'd anyway be expecting Gujarat Titans to win.
Not necessarily.
One team, see if Gujarat wins, they are not only guaranteed of a top four spot, they are guaranteed of top two.
Top two, yeah.
That's very important. If Gujarat lose, then that whole table is going to be alive and kicking with the exception of Delhi.
Yeah.
The only team that are out. Even SRH can qualify.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nine teams can make it.
Gujarat will be sweating because we have been talking about top two. If they were to lose today, then they only have one game to win. If they lose that, it's a make or break. You lose that last game, you could be out of the top four.
oh my
Here
God.
you're talking about a situation where they can be top two to a situation where they could be out of top four. So very important game.
And remember, their last game is against
And the way
RCB.
they lost last
Action
time.
is Swami,
See?
And RCB will be desperate for a win because again,
and they'll go hard.
every team now is going to go hard. So
When I did my permutation combination, that 14 team, 16 team, everyone was like, this will never happen. What's the point of doing
But-
it? Believe you me, it's
Imagine,
happening.
yeah.
Still now the situation is the same. 14 points you can qualify, 16 points you can still miss out.
But if SRH does not win today, then it's out
Then
of
yes.
the game, na?
But that's what we've been saying every day. If this one, then this is clear cut, but it's not happening. Something or
But
the
then
other
what's the
is-
point of winning 8 games? Like Gujarat Titans has won 8 games so far out of 12, and Hyderabad I think has won only 4 out of 11. So then, I mean, what's the point of having so much in your kitty and yet, not qualifying still? I mean, after winning 8 games out
But
of
that's
12,
the
that's
thing.
quite a number.
that's the thing. 16 is the bare minimum safety point.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want 18
16 is a
points
bare minimum
for
safety point.
And even that is not good enough if multiple teams get to 16.
So
Which
if
is why-
somebody, if any of the teams had had 17 then, 17, 18
See, 17
points.
is not normally possible because let's see 2 teams who can get there, but that's because they had one game where
Washed
it was
out.
washed out. So there was no result. If there's a no result, the points
17
Oh, yeah.
will be safe. So if Chennai and Lucknow
Get
get
to
to
17.
17, which they can, then they are safe.
All
16 can be iffy.
Yeah.
But having said that, what you're saying 16 is the bare minimum, which I also think eventually it will be. But I'm saying still there is a possibility where 14 also might do it.
Yeah. And there are multiple teams who can finish on 14 right now.
Exactly.
So it's very close.
And if Chennai had won yesterday then,
If Chennai had won
They would have
yesterday,
qualified?
then they would have qualified and KKR would have been the second team knocked out.
Oh,
That's how close the margins are.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very close. Have Sunrisers won the toss?
And they've chosen to bowl.
Not surprising.
Not surprising at all. The match is in Ahmedabad, no?
Yes.
Then it's not surprising at all.
And Ahmedabad, even though it's the home ground of the Gujarat Titans, but you mustn't forget that Gujarat haven't had a great time playing at home
Yeah.
this season, like most other teams. What's their
3
record?
losses.
3 losses out of
Home ground.
6
Out of
games so far.
6, this is the last. Yeah.
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 So 3 out of 6. That means they have a 50% record at home.
Yeah.
So it's not a good record, and I think for some reason Gujarat are wearing different jerseys today.
It
Like
is
this
I'll tell you,
lavenderish kind
it
of
is
jersey.
a lavender jersey for the some the
Cancer
fight
awareness
against cancer,
program that-
which they're associated with a program, a cancer
Yeah.
awareness program or something.
Lung
And,
cancer program, I guess.
And yeah, that is why they're wearing this jersey.
No wonder Aditi came wearing the same colors. Because she's a Gujarat Titans fan. She's
It
a
is
Hardik
just
Pandya
a
fan.
coincidence though.
She's a Hardik Pandya fan.
No, I'm
She's a
not.
good. You've said you're a Hardik.
No, I've never said I'm a fan.
But a fan. Not a fan, but a fan.
But a fan. No, I'm not.
You said that.
I just appreciate their efforts. I like them.
that's what
Not
a
a
fan
fan, no.
फैन का मतलब
Fans
ये
are
थोड़ी
like,
है कि
you know,
will cut your
you-
nerves उसके वो हर
That is
fan
Saran.
I नहीं.
वो हर fan वैसे ना fan is just like you like somebody's cricket or whatever you like.
No. It's
So
a
you're a
fan would have stronger feelings.
No. There are all sorts of fans.
Huh. Okay, then I'm a fan if you say so.
So you're saying you're not a staunch fan, you're probably a fringe fan.
You could say that.
But a fan nonetheless.
Okay. Weaker category of fan then.
Yes.
My God, I was
It's
thinking that
lavender.
it'll be a very average kind of a day.
No,
And
it's not average. It's firstly
It's
there is.
gonna be a deciding match then.
They will be playing a deciding match, and we'll also be playing a deciding match.
Yes. So I was asking Harshit, are there going to be any girls today?
No.
No. What will I do then? I'd rather
You
be
could
here.
Be
No.
opening bowler or
I'd rather go back
batter.
home.
Batter, bowler, whatever you want to.
Okay. मुझे कुछ नहीं आता इसमें से.
You can think about it.
But you know, so many decent guys around you, yeah.
Actually.
Your own colleagues, spend time with them.
Are you mad?
She's
Colleagues
like,
के
no.
point of view से कौन जाएगा? Male attention.
What?
If you had honestly said that you'd have so much male attention, I would have said, okay, yes, I'd be the only girl over there. Silly point. So many colleagues. इतने decorated words में. Like I'd go.
He's live now.
So what? I'm just being
We have
honest.
our own match.
That would be my
As
own other
Gujarat
as well.
and Sunrisers Hyderabad would be playing the game. We are having our own match. Meanwhile, some secret message has been sent by Shivam.
Shivam, you send the parchi now. Parchi is being sent. GT, they are very used to sending parchis.
Oh, interesting visuals. Ravi Shastri meeting Hardik Pandya.
I mean, to be fair, he's very publicly backed Hardik multiple times as a future T20 captain.
Yeah.
You know he's a big Hardik Pandya fan.
Yes. No, that way I've seen Ravi Shastri. He's maintained great relationship with
Correct.
the players
Hmm.
while he was coach and after he's left that position. And the other good thing is he's sometimes critical also of them. He says that this one needs this rest, this one needs to do that. He says all that. But it's a reflection of his time as a coach that even now if you have good relation with players, that means he was a good people's man, if I can say, because usually what happens, coaches are such hard task masters, so once they're coaches you're okay, once they go, then you're cordial, you have a great relationship. But with Ravi, he was one of the boys, even though there was a big age difference between him and the rest, but one of the boys, because I see now also these young guys, the way they meet or speak about Ravi Bhai. So
I remember the likes of Pant and all would be very pally with him once, even, and I think Shastri's been out of the picture for a while now as far as the coaching goes. So
21
December,
Yeah.
November.
yeah. So
Like
ever since
T20
then,
World
also when he's been on commentary duty for IPL or internationals, all the younger guys will normally go up to him and they're pretty cordial.
yeah,
He's maintained good relations.
true. The lavender jersey wearing Gujarat Titans, will that bring them some luck in their home venue? Otherwise, they've been outstanding, still top of the table. So really been the best team of the league, clearly in terms of points. Another win guarantees in the top 2 spot. But Hyderabad have won the toss and they've opted to field. As we're saying, with the summer setting in, the dew is also there in a lot of places. Because I remember the last game that Chennai lost, I heard MS Dhoni come out and say that the first ball, he a very interesting comment by MS Dhoni. It actually tells you how different it is. By second, he said in the post-match presser, the game that they lost, he said when the first ball of our second inning we bowled it, just looking at the first ball, I knew that we had got a below par total.
He said 180.
Yes,
He didn't,
180.
minimum you need.
Yes.
he didn't actually say below par. What he said was that it was a 180 wicket on the second innings.
Yeah.
But batting first, there was no way we would have gotten
Exactly.
180.
So-
So the dew totally just nullified everything.
So looking at the first ball, he knew that minimum we needed was 180 on this track to make a match of it, because the team batting second would get 180 more often than not. But see, that's the practical or the pragmatic approach that he has. So most times you will, or captains, or you will get upset, oh, our bowlers didn't do the job or our batters didn't do the job. Very practical. He said, no, our batters also did the job. I mean,
All things.
Bowlers
Yeah.
also, he said bowlers, I'm fine with the bowlers. We were
Yeah.
just short.
Yeah.
And why
and short because not that the batters didn't perform.
the
It's
conditions,
that they got.
didn't allow. Yeah.
So to be so practical and allow that leeway to your players and not judging them just by the scorecard, but rather than judging them in the kind of situation they played and
Yeah.
be okay with it. That's what makes MS the captain.
Which is also, it takes me back to all those times that he would talk so highly of Ashwin as well, because the scorecard, when you look at it, would read so differently for Ravi Ashwin, but he'd say you got to take into consideration the fact that he bowled in such and such power play. He was bowling when the ball was new or old, or when
But
two.
many times he didn't bowl him only.
But
Like he would not get one over.
yeah, that's fine. But then all those times,
If they were right-handers batting,
yeah. See, that way he
he
matchups.
played him. If I'm not mistaken, there were a few times. Maybe our subscribers can point out also any harm. But I remember more than one time where Ashwin played and didn't get a single over. And by the way, those days he wasn't as qualified all-rounder as he is now. So it's not that his batting would have contributed. He was practically playing as a bowler.
Correct.
But he would either bowl just one over or not bowl any overs at all while he was playing under MS.
No, in fact, this matchup thing, I noticed it even yesterday because Moin didn't come on to bowl one over until there were two left-handers at the crease. Okay, and unfortunately, of the two left-handers, one of them is Nitish Rana. Now again, most people think, oh, left-hander, you bowl an off-spinner, get the ball away. But I came across a stat that Nitish Rana, out of all left-handers who play in the IPL, who've scored, I think, had a minimum of 20 odd innings, his strike rate against off-spin is 157.
Wow.
So he's not someone who you actually bowl an off spinner. He really plays off spin very, very well. And we saw that in the previous game also against SRH, where who did he target? Aiden Markram.
Markram.
As soon as Markram came on, he targeted. And he has those couple of shots. One is that late cut and the inside out. Inside out.
He has got a decent this thing as well. He targets the mid-wicket region, goes over mid-wicket, that
Correct.
slogs people of his.
Exactly.
Two big news from the Gujarat Titans camp. Very interesting playing 11. First and foremost, Yash Dayal is back into the 11 after that horrible over. It wasn't really his bowling which was an
but
issue.
I think he played the next game.
No, he didn't.
did not.
He got
He was dropped
It's
immediately.
after
Immediately
that
after.
game. It's the first game he's playing after that over he bowled to Rinku Singh where he got hammered for 31
runs.
31 runs in an over, the most expensive over in IPL, and I mean it was heartbreaking. And many thought that he was dropped, but then we later heard from Hardik Pandya saying that he was unwell. He developed fever, so he had been missing. And of course, his confidence would have, suffered a lot after that game. So very happy to see Yash Dayal coming back because, it's part of the game. Yeah, he was that same bowler previous season who you were looking at as a future India prospect. Then the start of the IPL just doesn't go his way, and then he was painted as a villain. So I'm really happy to see him back, and I'd be watching him closely, and I hope he has a good game to boost his confidence back because we need youngsters to do well. So that's the one important bit from Gujarat. The other, Shanaka. There's no Siddharth today on a day that he should. The biggest Shanaka fan.
But then he wouldn't have been that happy also because he replaces Vijay Shankar.
Vijay Shankar. Yeah, exactly what I also noticed.
Vijay Shankar misses out. He got hit in the ball. He got hit during the net session yesterday. I don't know what injury he has. It's not specified. But I think because they were normally starting with 3 foreigners anyway, so they just said no, we'll bring in Shanaka.
No, makes sense.
Makes perfect
sense. Shanaka and Indian fans would know very well what he can do with the bat. He's done it so often against India. He just loves playing in these conditions against an Indian team. So, in fact, he went unsold, I think.
Yes.
And then everyone was wondering.
Despite all his exploits in the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
And against India in that series also.
In the
Against
series
India, against
In
Pakistan
India.
in the Asia Cup, then in India.
No, so I'm personally very happy to see Yash Dayal back and Shanaka playing because a big fan, whatever little we've seen of him, very underrated cricketer, comes in and I know that these are not tactical changes as Shane pointed out that because of an injury Shanaka is coming in, but you never know. Sometimes it's an injury that brings a player in and then you realize that this is that one, game changer that you were missing from your lineup. He could be that because remember, Gujarat's last game where they should have won and then they completely botched up that chase, but for it was Rashid Khan at the end when he got those runs. Everyone must have realized that listen, if we'd spent a little bit more time on the crease, maybe we could have won that game. But Rashid Khan was outstanding. So they've made a few changes. Also for Sunrisers Hyderabad, Marco Jansen is in for Glenn Phillips. So it'll be interesting to see. Can we see the playing 11s? Are they there? Yeah. So let's look at the batting 11 first. We start with Gujarat Titans, who've lost the toss and been put into bat. So you've got Shubman Gill and Wriddhiman Saha. They need to come good. You know, they've been hot and cold this season, both of them. Sai Sudarshan.
Also the third
making
change.
a comeback. Also making a comeback.
He had a good time. I wonder why he dropped him. He started off the IPL.
Yeah.
Actually, they dropped him because there was only space for either him or Abhinav Manohar. And Abhinav Manohar had those couple of blinders of innings which made him
Sai
undroppable.
Sudarshan, he had a couple
He
of
did.
50s.
Yeah.
He did. And then after that, Abhinav Manohar, I think in that one match, I'm forgetting where he scored like 70 out of
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
Couldn't drop him after that.
Yeah.
There's another time I remember him scoring 41 of 21. So he had those couple of blitz.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Sai Sudarshan is back. Hardik Pandya, David Miller, Shanaka at 6, Tewatia at 7. Then, of course, the bowling lineup, you have Mohit Sharma, Rashid Khan, Mohammad Shami, and Noor Ahmed. So, pretty settled lineup, really. I think whatever changes they made also were enforced.
That's interesting. So the batting, because they've got Noor and Shami and okay, so yeah, but batting is still number 9, huh?
To Mohit.
No, or Mohit will go to 9.
No.
So till 8. Rashid will bat at 8.
Rashid will bat at 8.
So batting till 8, which is par for the course, especially with a sub. If you don't have batting till 8, then you're really weak or your balance is off. So at 8, Rashid, good enough batting lineup. So you're effectively your bowlers now are really not good with the batter. Mohit, Mohammad Shami and Noor Ahmed. So then they'll get a bowler in. We'll have to look at their impact sub as and when they're out. So we'll discuss that. But turning our attention to Sunrisers, we've got the sub. So they have got Yash Dayal.
He'll be the sub.
They've already announced. By the way, Gujarat's done this before. He didn't need to say it. With that announcement of the toss that Hardik has done, already telling you Yash Dayal is in, then that leaves little to the imagination of who the bowler is going to be. So you know that there's not going to be Sai Kishore or Shivam Mavi or anybody. It is going to be Yash Dayal.
Yeah, I mean, the other option, see, Shrikar Bharat not coming in, obviously, wicketkeeper. He's not coming in. Nalkande neither. I think the other options would have been a Sai Kishore or Mavi.
Or Mavi, exactly.
Or Mavi, who hasn't played a game despite being bought for like, what, 6-7 crores?
But you didn't have to say that at
Exactly.
the toss.
But maybe it happens, you have carrying 2 team sheets, rather 2 different batting first, bowling first, you just get confused at times.
Oh, Rohit had done this earlier. Where he came and announced that he's coming in. You don't have to, is what I'm saying. You let the other team just be guessing. You announce your 11 and just say that, those are our subs. But yeah, I mean, what that has done is helped us understand that Yash is going to be there. So Yash Dayal comes in. So that's a pretty much straight swap that they'll have when they will be fielding. So a batsman like Shubman's been going out
a lot, yeah. In fact, he's been coming in also in a lot of games. He's not started. Come on as the impact player. So they'll probably sub him out and bring on Yash Dayal.
Yeah, that's what.
You're not doing fantasy today, you're assured, you know which
You know what
will be in.
You know who would I made my vice captain Prabh Simran, and that game he disappointed. Next game
He got a ton.
imagine if he was my, because no one would have made him vice captain.
Yeah, no one would have made him vice captain.
That day, sure shot I was winning big, but I didn't play that day. I'm not making my fantasy teams anymore. Yes, so that's Gujarat. Pretty simple, straight swap that they have. Okay, turning our attention to the Sunrisers Hyderabad, who are going to be bowling. So their bowling lineup is Natarajan, Fazalak Farooqi. Or is that the first game for him?
No,
this season?
he played
He
the
played
last
a
game.
cup.
No, he played the last game as well.
Last game.
Last game also he
Last
was
game.
brought back in. Back then you didn't have Jansen. So
Jansen's come in.
Jansen's come back
For Glenn Phillips.
For Glenn Phillips. Yeah.
So what they've done is, so you're bowling now, Bhuvneshwar, Jansen, Fazalak Farooqi, Natarajan.
Man Markande.
Well, that's like good 4 seamers, huh?
And 3 of whom are left arm seamers.
Yeah. So they got 4 seamers. Mike Markande is that
5th
spinner, and Markram's going to be another spinner.
And Sanveer also,
I don't know whether he's free or not.
Because last time around as well, I remember we were talking how he could be the impact sub and do both. Of course, the preferred attribute for him or the stronger attribute for him is to be that lower order batter, but I think he can roll his arm as well. But to everyone's surprise, he wasn't included there.
So, but he's starting today. At the expense of who?
So that'd be interesting to see.
Abdul Samad is there. Okay.
Abdul, he has to be after the couple of
last
games
2
that
games
he's had. He
yeah.
had to be there. I mean, he didn't start off very well in the IPL, and I was actually one of the critics who were wondering like why does he have to be in the team. In fact, the common joke was that his biggest contribution has been helping them
Umran
find
Malik.
someone like an Umran Malik. But then Umran is now not getting a chance to play.
And Abdul Samad
And
is
Abdul
shining.
Samad is playing and shining. Such a sport, yeah. So, you got to be looking at that. So, wasn't Tripathi dropped for a game or so?
But he did play the last game.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember RR game he was there because he batted. He got a quick fire 40 yard.
So, right now their bowling is, they've got 4 seamers and 2 spinners in Mayank Markade, Aiden, Makram, and so that's 6, but the 7th bowling option, as Harshit points out, is Sanveer.
Oh, don't forget Abhishek also, although considering the kind of game he
Yeah.
had last time, they
maybe
probably
not.
might not go to him.
By the way, except that over the first 2 overs that he bowled pretty decent. It's just that after he got taken to the cleaners, he just didn't know where to bowl. The
And that
third
happens
over.
to a lot of bowlers in all
It's just
fairness.
that third over that obviously would have shattered confidence a lot, but I don't blame, let's say, Makram for giving him that third over because the first
2 were really
decent.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they have that option. You're right. So 8 bowling option they may not use in Abhishek, and then for them, you look at their subs. You got
Anmol
Preet. Glenn Phillips can't come in because 4 foreigners are already
Neither
there.
Akil Hussain.
Akil Hussain has played a game but won't come in. Mayank Dagar, Nitish Reddy. But Anmol Preet Singh seems to
Stands
be
out.
the obvious choice because they'll be batting second. So you take someone like a Natarajan out of your 11. That's most likely what Sunrisers will do. And then bring someone like an Anmol Preet. So yeah, looks decent. Picking anyone?
I mean, I don't know. See, this game is, I think, with SRH, they're just one of those teams that have blown so hot and cold.
Yeah.
So hot and cold.
Mehraj Rule has a winner. He says
Oh,
SRH winning comprehensively today. GT getting under 165.
This guy yesterday was on fire when it came to his predictions. He predicted 3 things spot on. He said CSK under 150, Narayan back in form, KKR winning comprehensively. All happened. So he has something. Some Nostradamus streak he's on.
Okay, then. There you go. His prediction today, SRH winning comprehensively. Oh boy, imagine that was to happen.
And what the table would then look like.
Yeah. He feels GT getting less than 165.
On this pitch though, wow. I mean,
Yeah, GT will say, "Arey, hamara Rashidi kafi hai. If nobody gets, he'll only come and whack it."
I but still feel it's at least on paper GT look like the more confident team, and it's high time. Let's just have one Q, a team having Q against their name. So let's just get into that zone now where we used to see more Qs come in place. So maybe I'll go with GT for that reason.
Shaurya says that Aditi ma'am keeps changing. Her favorite team and player keeps changing
I don't
depending on the
think so.
performance. That's wrong. She's consistently,
back GT.
It's been a year.
yeah, she's a Hardik Pandya and a GT fan.
All
Say
right.
yes, don't
Yeah,
say
yeah.
no.
I'm a fan.
Now's your cue to say
I'm a
yes.
peacock.
Okay, Yash Nigam wants to know, so if you guys want to summarize the veg versus non-veg battle, who would you say won it? Or where did it possibly come to a halt?
It almost got reignited just before we went on air.
Yes,
What?
Veg, non-veg, you were not there.
Oh, I think I was off that day. It's quite possible.
Who won the debate, Aditi?
Which one?
The veg, non-veg
The
debate?
well non-veg.
Yash Nigam is asking.
Nigam asking.
I won it.
Uh-huh.
She says so, then she won it.
I did it, obviously.
But she hasn't convinced me to become vegetarian, so.
Good
I
luck
don't
with
care
that.
about it. I'm always going to Toko you.
No, but you care that you care now
No,
that
of course,
you
I
want me to
would
be
care
vegetarian.
that you leave
but
it,
you're not
but,
being able to say not doing a
but still,
good job of arguing
I'm
your
not.
case.
My efforts are not going to stop, is what I'm saying.
Good stuff.
I'm not
Like
giving
that.
up.
Anshul is saying you're hypnotizing him with the feet movement.
Really?
Actually, it's not hypnotizing. Her feet, they are her weapon of choice. If anyone misbehaves, it's a murder weapon. They're so sharp from their head that if anyone misbehaves, like one kick, it goes in, gone. Gone. It'll be like sharper than a knife's edge. It's a murder weapon.
You're the only one who says that.
Isn't it?
I mean, it's pretty sharp.
Yeah. Like one
Pretty
kick,
sharp.
you're gone.
All right.
Dead.
Okay, so I have a weapon in hand all the time then. Any thoughts on yesterday's game?
Game. RR.
I mean, to be
Thoughts?
fair, when I was watching that match, my one big regret was why couldn't they put in performance like that against KKR? Would have been so nice. KKR would have been potentially on course for 16. But yeah, yesterday I think something happened with RR. They just lost the plot entirely. It was bad to watch because I'm
Since I read Arsenal in the comments, I think exactly what happened to Arsenal happened to RR also.
my club are in 11th right now. I can't make those comments. Then again, my club did win a Champions League in 2021, so ha Arsenal fans.
Aman has an advice for you, Aditi. Do not take the law into your hands, okay?
Okay.
Don't use that as a weapon, please.
ठीक है.
What is Dex's question he wants us to take? Did we miss
Just scroll up. I think you guys, there was a question there somewhere. Upar. No, he's asked the question upar. No, slightly higher.
We
Slightly
missed
higher.
your question. Type it again, please.
There we go, Dex.
Dex.
Do you think VAR is better than DRS or the third umpires? Because, VAR officials at least can suggest to the referee to recheck a foul or blunder made by the referee on the field. Dex, I do agree with you, but if it reaches a point where the third umpire has to intervene and tell the umpire to check. Then both are getting 5-hour matches.
Also, let's not forget, it's the same VAR who forgot to draw lines also. So
Arsenal fans will attest to that.
Arsenal fans will
Plus,
remember it very well.
I've seen inconsistency from VAR as well.
True.
Especially in penalty, calls.
See the thing.
Sometimes I can't understand why they give it, and sometimes why do they overrule or whatever. I'm not also been very convinced with VAR.
Because the problem is that, look, you have the technology, but who's making these decisions is still humans.
Yeah.
So when humans make it for one referee, this much contact might be enough. For the other, it might not be. Then there's no consistency.
I think for me, VR boils down to two things. One, of course, everything you see in slow-mo will appear as a foul. That's one. And VR is mostly slow-mo at all times. Second, it's all about perception then, like you said. Because this could be soft, and at the same time, this may not be soft because you're expecting some sort of physicality in the game as well.
Furthermore, when it comes to offside calls, I hate when it's like one toe ruling them out offside or this fingernail. I'm like, bro, clip your fingernails then. What's the problem? Don't keep long hair. All go bald. One hair is ruling him offside. I'm like, yeah, that's bad. How can you time it based on his hair?
So that's exactly the video I did now, which is on Sports Today, about ICC deciding to do away with the soft signal. But does that mean that debates will not happen? It will still happen.
Yeah.
As is the case in the IPL where there is no soft signal. So it's pretty much the same, I think.
Subjectivity when it comes down to it, there's a lot of things. I mean, now we've seen instances even now where the third umpires are seeing everything and still getting it wrong. So how does it matter?
No balls, not being given no balls. Yeah,
It's bad.
baffling.
Okay, predictions. Gotta wind up.
I'm wearing orange, so it's not orange exactly, it's rust red, but looks orange there. So I'll back SRH.
I will go with SRH because I want underdogs to do well. And so that the points table is
I
aligned.
want another TV package tomorrow. Why not? It gets confusing and there's another TV package.
I mean, see.
GGK is saying, do I have the experience of getting kicked by those legs? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I've been nice to her.
I will go with the Gujarat Titans because I now want one team to seal their berth in the playoffs. So I'm going with Gujarat.
You're done with Pele up.
Bas, ho gaya. The niceties are done. Now you
Be
steal
ruthless.
one.
I'm not going to let my gut take over. I wouldn't even think in that direction. I want GT to win, so I'd support them.
Simple. Straight up.
Nice.
AJ Style says a last over thriller maybe. Somebody else pointed out that we've not had a single super over, which is a
amazing.
point.
Huh.
Which is a point, not a single super
And
over.
that means you have 5 days, that's 5 matches, times you have 9 matches left. Not one super over yet? Are you saving it for the
Has to
playoffs? Yeah.
Has
What
to
did I do, Manju?
Has to happen. Chalo, on that note, game's about to start. Akash Bardha has gone 180 and GT wins.
Sanket Joshi is being very naughty. Saying that SRH will win with the last over being bowled by Yash Dayal. I mean, come on.
Taking Anshul's question, he says, Sunny G takes autograph of MS. How did you find it? You've used it? I think it's incredible. Yeah. In fact, it actually shows you what a humble man Sunny G is. Because I know of a lot of players, and he is a legend too, who would be like, why should I be taking an autograph from another player? I'm a star myself. But he doesn't have it. So nice for him to acknowledge that. And in fact, today I was watching him in the pre-match show where he said that, this is my prized possession and all of that. That's incredible. So I liked it. It was nice. I also have a MSD autograph jersey. So prized possession for me.
SRH win.
But that Sunny Ji got it on a shirt that he was wearing. I have it on MS's jersey, on the match jersey.
CSK or India?
India. सिर्फ एक ही नाम.
एक ही नाम सुना है तो
India. Okay. Bye bye. Take care. See you mid innings. Ganesh Khair has gone to 170 for SRH. Hanuman.
160.
And Hanuman's been in news recently. The Karnataka election.
We're not live, right?
We are, but it was in the news.
It was.
We're not taking sides.
Why is everyone saying SRH win?
Because people want excitement.
Maybe that's why.
Bye bye.
Bye.